After a very successful Ironman South Africa, where I finished third, I raced another full Ironman race in April, only 20 days later, at IRONMAN Texas, the North American Championship. It was quite a disappointment. I had a very rough day. I still managed to finish 7th, ran a 2:55 marathon, and you know, looking back, it was most likely a mistake, but I also think that it's important to train the mind and to learn how to push through those hard times in a race, because especially in Kona, there's so many moments where you simply want to quit. And IRONMAN Texas taught me to push through and dig deep and never ever quit. After arriving back home from the US in the beginning of May, I did another aero track test with SRM at the Vienna velodrome. We are here with Alexander Bauer from LeXXi Smartsuits. He's a specialist for tweaking aerodynamics on the bicycle. Goal today is to not find a new bike position, so it's not a bike fit. We're trying to shave off some watts, and how this works here is you ride a certain amount of laps, around 10 laps, if you can count. I have problems with counting when I have to be focused, so I usually ride a little bit more to be on the safe side. And you should shoot for about for a given speed, so for about 45 kilometers per hour. And then we download the SRM file on the computer, and we calculate the average power over a certain marker for 45 kilometers per hour. So what we are gonna test as an example today is which helmet is faster, and if so, by how many watts. It usually takes the whole day and it's pretty exhausting because you basically have to ride just over 70.3 race pace for about 5 minutes, and then you stop again, sit around and work around on your bike, or the mechanic does it. And then 10 minutes later or so you start again for 10 laps or around 2 kilometers. So it's a special training day. But I'm sure it will pay off on race day. There's an old saying, which is competing or competition is the best training. And I really like that, so I chose to race a half distance in Zadar, Croatia, and an Olympic distance a week later in Klosterneuburg in Austria. Christina, my partner, and I had an amazing time in Croatia. It was our baby moon, so with winning the race, it was the perfect stay. And also the following weekend, I was able to defend my title at the Klosterneuburg Triathlon Festival at their Olympic distance.
Pölten. Das Wetter ist 70.2 sehen am dritten Platz.
Ja, Nicole war letztes Jahr Wahnsinn, aber Wachau.
70.3 St. Pölten is my true home race. It's only 45 minutes away by car from my hometown Gumpolskirchen. I won it last year, so of course I wanted to defend my title. The swim was pretty cold, but with the Blue 70 wetsuit it wasn't a problem. So it's in 2 lakes with a little run in between. Solid, nothing special, but it put me in a good position to start the chase on the bike. aboard my Diamondback Andean, I rode the fastest bike split, but that was still not enough to catch the leaders. So I arrived in the second transition zone together with another Austrian in third and fourth. But again, I pushed 15 watts in average more than last year on my SRM power meter, and it felt really good. And so there's nothing to complain about my bike performance at 70.3 St. Pölten. I did not feel fresh on the run at 70.3 St. Pölten. There simply was still too much residual fatigue from the two full distances, Ironman South Africa and Ironman Texas in April. So with that hardcore race schedule in my legs, my coach and I decided that I will not race another full Ironman. So no IRONMAN Austria for me this year, unfortunately. But the main focus is anyway on improving my 10th place in Kona of last year. So after taking 2 to 3 weeks easy, I will start with the Kona training block in mid-June, and then we will see what other races I will be competing at.